I have no idea of anybody else that's ever won the Ridler Award, and he has contended for it how many times?
5 times.
And won it once. He contended 5 times.
We have 5 grade 8 cars, which is also a record. Nobody else has ever done that.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
wow. So it's an honor to have him here. When I was doing body work, I looked towards JF, and the reason being is that his cars were all over everywhere. I can remember watching Barrett Jackson. He had a yellow wagon that come up. I can't say exact details, but I remember it was being bought by a millionaire, and he was just spending money after money, and I was thinking, I want an old car. I'm hooked, right? I mean, it's just like, you know, people are spending millions of dollars on these creations, and JF's been there on almost anything that I've talked to him today, from SEMA to building a car with Chip Foose to getting wheels done by his friend Mike to traveling Canada with Mike Hall, and just anything I ask him, yes. He's telling me things that I have no idea, but I'm going to get him also to tell them you guys. But if you don't know him, look him up on the internet, JF Launier. Look up Ridler winners. Look up some of his cars. We'll go talk about them as we're doing this. And some of the cars he's showing me, he's like, wow, you did that car? Wow, you did that car? And it's for, what can I say, who it's for? It's for everybody that's interested in cars. From this end to trying to keep it as low as possible, to this end to trying to be the best in the world. And that's where we're at right at the present moment. So it's bottom meets top.
Well,
right?
That's quite an intro, but I don't believe that.
Well, I mean, let's face it. From the guy that wants to build it in his shop by himself,
sure,
to the guy that's going all over the world and contending with everybody, you're going from the bottom of the barrel to the top of the barrel, and I have no problem saying it.
Yeah.
But when you do big shows like that, I mean, that's what you're into. I want to know.
It's flattering. Thank you.
No worries. When did you start your first custom, and how old was you, and why?
I would have been 13 years old when I started my first car restoration with my father, and he wasn't in the trade at all. He's just a guy that liked motorcycles. So
you wanted this
before he did.
So it was your own dream.
It was my own dream, and it's a quick story about being poor, which you might understand, and knowing that you're not going to get a car gifted to you at 16 years old. So if you're making $200 or $300 a summer mowing lawns, how are you going to be able to afford a car when the time comes? It's some quick math tells you you're not going to be able to afford a car. So I had watched Karate Kid, and in the sequence of that, remember, in the sequence where he's going to get a car for prom.
You kicking me or I kicking you?
Yeah, exactly. But in the middle of it, right before he goes to prom, he starts to do this restoration, and it lasts 12 minutes of the movie. They get this rusty old car, and he does the wax on, wax off, and all of a sudden he's got a car for prom, and I thought, well, I got no money, but what if I build my own car for prom? That seems like it would be way easier. And I talked my dad into it. And because he was very mechanical, he was all in. He was hook, line, and sinker. What I didn't know at the time is my father was only staying like 2 or 3 weeks ahead of me. So if we needed to do something on the truck that we had purchased, he would research it, get his friends or find people that knew how to do it, and then he would come home and teach me how to do it. Wow. Yeah, his journey was super interesting in that respect, because he just felt that this was going to be a big enough thing for him and I to grow together, that he was willing to put his effort in.
He grabbed hold of it.
He didn't know how to weld when we started it.
Oh, wow.
And then he went and got somebody to teach him how to weld so we could do some welding on the truck, right? Just little things like that were really critical to moving forward.
Did your father ever get the award of the year?
No, but he has a lot of fun with me, so I think we do a lot of interesting stuff together for sure.
So you were 13.
Yeah.
You wanted an old car. You're watching Karate Kid, and it kind of motivated you to work on this old car.
Yeah.
What made you want to go to the level that you're going to?
Oh gosh, I mean, that's a few years later, I would say. So this little pickup truck ends up going to prom.
Did you get the date?
I got the date. We broke down on the way.
Was it on purpose?
And had to ride in the back of a Honda, actually, at prom. Because all those efforts were for naught. The old pickup truck broke down.
If you want to know, my car is not the only one that breaks down.
Oh no, they all break down.
Yeah.
They all break down.
I like the honesty.
We could do an hour's episode here on cars that break down. $1 million cars broken down right on Las Vegas Boulevard.
No doubt.
I've been there. I'm that guy.
That'd be so...
You're leaving SEMA and you're like, oh no, did I forget to put gas in this car?
Yeah.
Puff, 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 puff. Yeah, I think I forgot to put gas in this car. Ask me how far away the closest gas station is to downtown
I'm not sure. It's right.
Las Vegas.
None at all?
Miles.
Oh, wow.
Miles. The real estate's too expensive to put up a little gas station, right?
Yes.
We should actually ask Tim Strange. He would tell you.
Right.
Yeah.
So after you got your truck done,
Yeah.
what made you go further? What made you?
So yeah, probably in the midst of building the truck, what happened, and this might have happened to you too, is I didn't have the skills to do the body and paint. We had assembled a cool little truck.
Yep.
So now that was the one thing about the truck that we handed off. And once we got the truck done, my buddy's dad had painted it, and everybody would ask who painted the truck. So
that wasn't what...
You kind of got more credit for painting the vehicle than you did for building it in those days, I think. So then I was like, well, I got to figure out how to do that too. So I apprenticed as a painter, became a painter, because I wanted to paint my truck.
Okay.
Which
Which inspired you again, because people would ask you about your truck, and you wasn't the cat that did it.
And who is that dedicated to one pickup truck that you tear it down, right back down to the frame 5 winters in a row? Because, of course, you and I are Canadians, so it snows. You got to find something to do in the winter.
And you would tear that truck apart?
I would tear that truck right down to the frame every winter, fool around, pull the engine, do something funny with the engine, and then keep moving forward. So, yeah, so that truck was kind of the nucleus of my whole hot rod hobby in my life, and now I had become a painter and a journeyman painter. And my daughter was soon to be born. We knew we'd have another child the next spring, and I decided to put together a really nice 55 Chevy. I thought that is the end all and be all of all cars. It's a muscle car if you want it to be. It's got really sexy 50s vibes and lines. I want one of those, and like you and I talk about quite a bit today about budget, I had zero money for that. So I bought a 4-door that was not rusty, and I bought a 2-door that had hit a telephone pole. And I cut the firewall out of that car, all the floor patches out of the 4-door. It was like $1,200 for both cars. And over the winter, I assembled both cars, talked my paint rep into giving me some paint, so the paint was free.
He was going for it then because he was asking people to give him stuff to help him.
I wasn't scared.
Right on.
Because I couldn't afford it.
One thing else I want to stop you before you keep going. You said you disassembled and put your truck back together many times.
Many times.
That's exactly what you do with a show car, is it not?
It is 100% what you do with a show car.
So you born and bred yourself to build a show car.
I never thought of it that way.
To me, I would not take a car back and forth 4 or 5 times.
Yeah.
If it had to come apart or needed a piece, I'd put it on it. But there's no way that I'm going back in there 4 and 5 times.
Yeah.
So that tells you right there is him taking it back and doing back and forth like that. Each time it was getting better and better and better. And he was able to assemble it like it was nothing.
Sure.
It became quicker.
Yeah, very quick.
Everything fit well. Everything fit perfect because that's the way you did it.
Yeah.
You kind of trained yourself.
Yeah, I never thought of it that way. That's actually a really good observation.
Yeah, it seems to me like you trained yourself how to become a car builder.
Yeah.
Just by taking it apart, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Like, and then, because if you want something to fit right, I hate to tell you, it's not just once.
No, it is never just once. And it's the I want to use the word conglomeration, but it's not really. But it's how all the other pieces also fit together. So as you disassemble and reassemble the car, you notice some issues that would come up, and you're like, oh well, I didn't realize the transmission was going to rub the transmission tunnel, and that would create either a squeak or a vibration. But as you're disassembling, you're like, oh, that definitely rubbed there. So before we take that to body work, we'll make sure and clearance it a little bit more.
Right.
It could be tire fitment, travel in the suspension. It could be as simple as door panel fitment to the door edge, right? So think little things like that. But you're right. Yeah, you do get better the more you just start to disassemble and reassemble.
Yeah, like I mean that's the only way I know how to do it is to put it apart, take it, do it many times so it fits together. When you paint it, you're not scratching it.
That's
right. You know how to do it. It's been done. All that sort of stuff. Can you give us your first car that made you big?
Yeah, I don't know whether that's...
Do you have a picture of it on your phone so you can show it, or we'll just... She'll add them to the thing. But it was a Kaiser?
Yeah, I mean, probably my breakout car was a 1951 Kaiser.
1951 Kaiser.
Heavy custom. Like I had one car in between the pickup truck and that car that was a pretty big time show car.
Okay.
Not a big time show car, I shouldn't say that, but it was well received, it was well styled, it looked good, it sounded good, it did all the right stuff.
Yeah.
And with that influence, I was like, I'm going to make a purse out of a sow's ear. Okay. I am going to take an ugly car and do something with it one of these days. Right?
I want to back up just one. So he started with the truck. I'm figuring that's what he grind his teeth on to make a show vehicle. And you had a vehicle before this Kaiser, and I want to go to that one. What is it?
Yeah, 55 Chevy.
Oh, yeah, you explained that. 55 Chevy. And you made it obviously bitchin', and everybody enjoyed it.
Yeah, the car was badass. Yeah.
Right. Did you take it apart many times?
No, actually, that one went straight through. It just pushed that one right through.
Okay.
Because it was just a car to drive our kids around.
Right.
It was never meant to be a show car.
But it
was just meant to be
again.
A car that laid rubber, drive from here anywhere.
At this time, did you have a shop?
No shop. No.
Okay. At the time when you unveiled your Kaiser, did you have a shop?
No.
Didn't have a shop?
No.
So you're a one-horse pony?
Yeah, I had a wrecking yard. So we were in business selling automotive used parts.
Okay.
And in where we were disassembling cars, like if you needed an engine, we'd pull, a pickup truck in, pull the engine and pull it back outside. We needed somewhere warm to work.
Okay.
So in that space, I kind of used a corner of that to build this Kaiser.
Cool.
Yeah.
Excuse me just for a second.
Me too.
Gotta wet the talking whistle. So this car was in the side of your building, and you're on your scrap place, and you was building this thing.
Yeah, out of scrap parts.
What gave you all the ideas of where you were going?
So my influence would definitely probably come from Boyd Coddington at the time, and if you remember Cadzilla and how profound that was.
That was ZZ Top's car.
ZZ Top's car, like probably still to this day. I know the Hero How to Merc sold for a pile of money. But for me, I think the custom of all times is Cadzilla.
Okay. Everybody's got a belly button, so you're allowed.
I just love the way the roof line worked. Blended itself into the quarter panels. I loved the windshield height. I loved that when a dude was sitting in it and he was looking out the side window, it was just badass, right? The big wheels on it and all the stuff that was so cutting edge without that.
I want to ask you a question.
Yeah.
When you're sitting in the car, where do you feel the top of the door should be?
Right about there. You should look a little bit short in your car. You should not be on top of your car. I think you should look like a kid having fun in a car. Okay. So I just think, I think your arm should be up just a touch so that you're feeling like you're in the car.
For me, it's kind of shoulder height.
Yeah, I'm with you there. Yeah. I think we're both.
I'm not sure.
Yeah.
But somewhere around there. If you're up here somewhere, you kind of might be up high in the car a little bit.
Yeah.
Maybe a little bit of a seat adjustment, that sort of stuff.
Sure.
So you took this car and you won a bunch of awards as Kaiser.
Yeah.
Like it's quite something. Like you had it tubbed, it looked like to me.
Yeah, well, yeah, but it was probably the first use of like 22-inch wheels in the rear of a car, which I don't know if it's a styling exercise that I would continue.
Yeah.
But then it didn't matter so much because the car was just so low, like it looked like an oversized Carmen Ghia by the time I was done, and I didn't know that was where it would end up. I just wanted a slender roof line. I wanted the car a little bit shorter because a lot of times cars are built on the same platform. So a 4-door shares the same platform and chassis as a 2-door.
Yes.
And a lot of times I don't think that looks right. Because if the stylists of the car had a choice, do you think they would take that really long chassis that's adaptable to multiple different platforms?
It's because of money.
It's because of money.
Yeah.
So they have to make a sacrifice somewhere.
Yes.
So when you're going back on the hot rodding side of things, you're like, well, I don't want to make that sacrifice. So I want to just shorten the car a little bit. Sometimes it's 6 inches. Sometimes it's 4 inches. Sometimes you got to take 10 inches out of a car to make that sort of nose, door, quarter panel proportion work. And once those come together, then I think you start designing the roof. That's the way I typically do it. And it's like, okay, now you got a really big bulbous roof because now you've shortened the car. So now the roof looks.
In other words, in his brain, as he's building a car, you're looking at length first and making sure every panel is what you want it to be in length.
I do.
Wow, I don't look at that at all.
You will now, though. You're going to scratch your head and go, wait a second, what's that all about?
Yeah, so
like I look at.
I can't say it now all the time, but not all the time, no, but. Go ahead.
And I think that's why I really like that giveaway car you were talking about, the silver one.
Yeah.
Because the way the front axle is just so far ahead of the driving position.
Yeah.
You're creating a presence. Like you are one bad dude if you're pulling up with a car with a super long nose, right?
I was explained that once. If you come into town and you got 12 horses, whoa, and you jump off there and you're 12 horses, everybody's going, whoa, who's that? If you come in with one horse, nobody even looks, right? You open the door and you go in to get a drink and they forgot you were even there. But as soon as you jump into the 12 horse,
what a wicked analogy.
You are recognized.
Super accurate.
Yeah, so.
I like that.
I don't know what to say.
Yeah, no, I like long nose cars for sure. We all do kind of. Like a Corvette's got a long nose, and then a Jaguar XKE has a long nose.
Yes.
And, you know, a lot of those sports cars, like you say, they got the whole team of horses out front.
Right.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Cool. So, back to the thing. 51.
Sure. 51. Kaiser. Yeah.
What did you win with it?
Oh, man, I don't want to be braggy on that.
No, not brag, just tell the truth.
Okay, so we showed up. We literally, and again, you and I talked budgets.
Yeah.
So I want to be very clear that there was no budget again. This is me with 2 kids. I had a wrecking yard, so I was able to sort of cannibalize a lot of used parts.
You built it with what you could.
C4 front suspension, and the reason I chose it, because it was zero aftermarket dollars, and because the control arms and the spindles were aluminum, I was able to buy like a $1,500 buffer.
Right.
And my wife was away working at the time, so I would change the diapers on both kids, put them to bed, and as soon as I didn't hear any crying, I would run to the basement and I would take these control arms and just pound them into the buffer and just make them shine. So it would take it probably took 2 weeks to make every piece of the front suspension shine.
You're making me laugh, you know.
No, but it's true though. And this is where like, do you win the awards based on the money that you spent on parts or the money you spent
the thought, time, and effort.
Or the time and effort that went into doing the labor. And for me, it was all labor-based because I had no money. So then I can qualify sort of where the car goes from there. So a car that cost me $30,000 in parts won best first time shown at Grand National, best in class.
Grand National, that's called. That's one of the biggest car shows in the world.
Yeah.
Like that's the Super Bowl. So you have to think what the car show he's talking about here. Go ahead.
Outstanding custom, then best custom overall, Chip Foose Excellence Award, George Barris Award.
You couldn't shit when you got home.
I was like, we didn't know what to do.
Sure, she was about that big.
We didn't know what to do. I'm being honest because myself and a couple of friends that had helped me with the car, we were just going to the big leagues. And to participate in a way that we thought this is going to be an awesome deal, not in a way that this is going to be a super competitive car.
Right. I understand what you're saying.
And leaving there, it became obvious, do you keep selling used parts for a living? Or do you start focusing on a career building?
It inspired you
cool
one more
cars?
time.
One more time.
It inspired him again.
We're really on juice by then. Yeah, we're excited.
He's on juice.
Yeah.
Does that mean steroids?
No. Maybe gasoline.
So
the high octane stuff.
So what I was laughing about when he was polishing his things, I was banging pipe on the ground, right? We both want the same thing, and it's just basically you do what you got to do to make it what you want, and you wanted to polish the front end of that car, and you were getting the kids down. You wanted to polish the front end of that car, and that's all you were thinking about. Yeah. That's awesome. That's awesome.
And when you and I were sort of
the kids were crying, you're still polishing.
You just can't hear them. Yeah. So when you and I were talking about making things out of, say, exhaust tubing.
Yep.
You know, the whole interior of that car is built out of exhaust tubing bends.
Okay.
And it just sort of waterfalls into the back, and that was the material available at the time. That was my skill set, and that's where my imagination sort of led me to sort of create some of those pieces.
You being around, like I think that was very creative what he did on the front end of the car. I keep getting back to that car, the front end, and him polishing the pieces on the A-arms and stuff and the control arms. Him being around that stuff, junking the cars and knowing what he could do with that and being creative is what caused that.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so. The people that I was hanging around with...
You never took that car apart?
They were all super... Like, the industry was there. Like, there was no aftermarket really industry.
But I mean, what makes you grab that front end and polish it? You seen it be done before?
No, I just knew it was aluminum, so it should polish.
Right? Okay. Well, it's just being creative.
I thought that's going to look like chrome if I get it right. And I don't have a chrome budget.
Right. I agree
with
with
that.
that.
I can buy those you know,
that would look
back then there was $17 for a stick of polish material, and you just let her rip, right?
Awesome.
So my labor really amounted to nothing, but the pieces,
the time.
Yeah, the time.
Right. So after you got done that car, you obviously started a shop?
No.
What you do then?
No. We're still
you went home motivated. You had a bunch of awards.
We did, but we did 4 more years of selling used car parts.
Okay.
And leaving one space open in this dirty, greasy garage.
Do you still have that car?
Me, yeah, oh yeah.
Oh, well done.
Yeah, I have a hard time getting rid of them.
Well done.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Teresa and I actually drove in it last week. Yep. Last week went and got ice cream.
And you must think about this now. When you're building cars at that level, sometimes they don't drive so well and you don't drive them around. Mm-hmm. I built some cars with a lot less money than that, and sometimes I don't want to drive them around. So it does take a bit to make them perform and also look that good.
Sure.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's quite something to have a car that looks like that and drive it and still have it after win them awards, because you think someone would probably offer you a bunch of money and want that.
Yeah, some guys did, and you know what? I just don't think they wanted it as bad as I wanted it.
No, obviously not. You still have it.
Yeah.
So what's the next biggest car?
Well, right after that, because that car's so successful, I start to imagine myself as more of a customizer, and definitely that 50s vibe, that heavy custom, the big lead sled looking customs was something that I could imagine really, really well. And at the time, the Dodge Magnum had come out with the tapered back roof. Yep. And another car on the same platform from Chrysler was that Chrysler 300.
Right, that was a big time car for me. Yeah. We even bought one myself. I even had one. Yeah. Chrysler 300. Loved it.
Well, the roof line was so good.
Perfect.
Like, you didn't need to chop that car.
No, it looked like it was chopped.
It looked like it was chopped right from the factory. Right. And so did the profile of the Magnum. So I sort of reverse engineered it. I thought, what if Chrysler had built the sports wagon back in 55, 56?
Right.
Off of the 300 platform. Well, unknowingly to me, the actual 55, 56 Chrysler 300, which is an iconic car, was basically built out of Chrysler and Dodge and DeSoto parts catalog. So it was really a big car, like the Imperial grille set into the Chrysler 2-door hardtop with DeSoto fenders. Now, I didn't know that, but I just liked the DeSoto fenders better, and I couldn't afford to buy a Chrysler 300 or a Chrysler of that sort. So I found a 2-door hardtop DeSoto. Then I found the Imperial.
You knew what you were going for.
I kind of discovered it as I was going along, and I thought to myself, I want to create the sports wagon from back then with the heavy tapered roof.
And this car is yellow.
This car's yellow.
And what's the name of this car?
Revolution is what it was called.
Revolution.
This REV Evolution. Yeah.
Evolution.
Revolution. Yeah.
Yeah. This was a revolution or evolution for me when I seen it go across Barrett Jackson and sold to Ron Pratt.
Yeah.
Like, I remember that. Like, I don't know why, but I remember that. You were from Canada.
Yeah.
You inspired me big time on that.
I appreciate that.
And the reason being is, like, he can do it, you know, I can do it. So inspire, you know what I mean? Like,
That's
you
cool.
have that feeling, right?
That's really cool.
Well, how I had to look towards somebody, right?
Right.
And when you're way up there and you're in Barrett Jackson on TV selling a car to somebody that, wow, they inspired me.
Right.
And you were, you know, a man of Vancouver, same country, you know, building a car at Barrett Jackson. It's like, wow.
It's awesome. It's humbling you say that, because
that was a big deal, man.
I was hoping that all I would leave to this world one day was the cars that I'd built, and if they influenced some kids to do the same thing, that would be a big thing for me. So the fact that that's part of your journey is a big deal for me. I think
I'm humbled by that. It probably inspired, geez, if anybody looked at magazines, it had been inspired that, you know, this 50-some wagon from this guy from Canada built this car and sold at Barrett Jackson's. Like, there was no, in Nova Scotia, I don't even know if there was a hot rod shop then going on. And, you know, everybody was trying to fix up their old car and that sort of stuff. But to go there and to do that, it was quite phenomenal to me.
Did you ever see the headliner in that car?
I did not. I have not even been close to it.
No kidding. So one of the outer profile of that car, I think, was
smooth and right.
Yeah, it had to be. It was correct, and I don't mean that in a braggy way. It just was. It had a outer profile, and the proportions were just correct.
Yep. Perfect. I thought.
And then to doll it up, because it was a station wagon, and of course, like your Ford Crown, or what are they? The Ford. Anyways, the Country Squires always have wood grain, and a lot of the station wagons have wood grain. So I wanted a very unique headliner. So in metal, I made an extra roof skin in the car, out of bare metal, sunk it 1/4 of an inch, and then had layered strips of maple, because I wanted to be Canadian wood, strips of maple as a headliner.
Okay, cool.
With spacing between them so you could see the body color.
It might even showed it. I'm not sure.
And then it was like 380 fasteners to hold that in there. That's why the extra roof skin is so we could get screws in there.
Right.
And not poke them out the roof, obviously. 386 screws, all clocked the exact same way. So that you just looked at them and they were all...
That's the JF way, from what I understand. Everything has to be...
Apparently it's a disease.
Has to
Mike
be
Hall calls it ATD, attention to detail disorder.
Well, I would say a lot of attention.
Yeah.
To me, I just can't fathom some of the work that you're putting in to get what you're getting, and how you keep motivated and keep staying at one spot to get it done. But you're obviously doing it.
Like you say, take it apart and redo it, and take it apart and redo it to get it right.
Yeah. And this wagon, what can I say? It's probably, I would rate probably the prettiest wagon that I, custom wagon going.
Thanks.
I mean, I'm not big into the chrome wheels, but it did matter on that car.
It didn't. No, and I always said it would have been neat to show that car
both ways,
with some big white walls and hubcaps.
I would have loved to see
because I don't think that would have hurt the styling of that car.
Not even a little bit.
I think it was correct both ways. It wasn't like a super trendy, gonna go out of style tomorrow. Car.
That car would look. Yeah, I'd like to see that actually.
I would have liked to have seen it too.
So
maybe if we find it, maybe if somebody knows where it is, I can buy it back one day and put it on white walls.
He does not have this car.
No.
He does not own it.
It's gone.
It's gone away. Now you were talking when you built that car, you put a lot of money into that car, and you thought you were going to get a lot of money back out of it. Did you not?
Yeah. There was
any story there you want to share?
Well, I don't know. Like it's a weird process. I think maybe it must happen a little more in the music industry, but there's actually money involved. You become popular, and people want to prop you up to be more popular because there's something in it for them, and then they sort of pedestalize you. And as they're doing that, there's lots of false promises getting made, and unfortunately, the car was rumored to be a $500,000 car.
So they wanted you to sell this car. You're going to make big bucks.
Yeah, and I'm not really ready to sell the car because we've only promoted it for basically 8 months. But you're going to get rich, so it's totally worth it. So you sort of play along with them, and before you know it,
anybody would play that game if they were going to build a car like that, and people wanted it.
Yeah,
and people saying you can make big money. You should
for sure.
And that's where it was.
Yeah, $500,000 handshake. We were thinking,
right?
And of course, we had borrowed a couple $100,000 against our house, and 2 years of effort into this car. I think it was 12,000 hours to build it.
I don't know if that's a game I'd want to play.
12,000 hours. No, it's not a game I'll never play it again. I had to learn
12,000 hours.
12,000 hours.
12,000 hours.
Yeah. So in the real world, that's 12,000 restorations, or 12 restorations, right? 1,000 hour per restoration, right? So if you're restoring a Chevelle, you should be able to do it in about 1,000 hours. Okay,
so you got that figured out that close.
Ish. It's a very ish number, but depending on how rusty the car is, and the level of detail you go to. So it was, a lot of effort.
And it didn't actually.
And it didn't. No,
it didn't perform what you wanted.
In my eyes, it kind of tanked. It was just sub $200,000.
In my eyes, it was poof. Wow. Right. I didn't get the promise or the handshake or whatever. I was just looking. I was looking in. Wow.
Yeah, that's a lot of money.
Right.
It's true. Yeah.
And I was saying, wow. Yeah, that's awesome.
That's a lot of money for a custom car.
So after the yellow wagon, where'd you go?
Oh, what comes next? Well, now by that point, we're really heavy into a career, and
you haven't built any. You got 5 grade 8 cars, and this is not even. You're not close to there yet.
That's the first grade 8 car.
That was a grade 8 car.
That was the first grade 8 car.
Okay.
Yeah, super strong. Quick story about that. The reason it went to Detroit as a grade 8 car, and the reason we spent all the extra money on it is I was doing overhauling with Chip Foose at SEMA.
So he's worked with Chip Foose. He's a Canadian. If there's any Canadians watching this, you can do anything you put your mind to, because he's proof in the pudding's right here.
Yeah. And you don't need to be Canadian. You can be
anybody.
You can be.
What's what I'm saying? Like, you can be
from anywhere in the world. Yeah.
Yeah.
So I was building the car, and I had gone to SEMA to do SEMA things.
Yep. SEMA things.
Make your relationships grow. Right. And I was there working on overhauling Chip Foose, and one of my friends came along and said, JF, are you building a station wagon for Detroit this year? And I said, yeah, I am. And he says, well, it's SEMA, which is 4 months before. He says, the rumor is that some kid from the West Coast is building a wagon, and that's the odds-on favorite because the 2 or 3 other multi-million-dollar cars that are coming are stalled. So everybody's talking about that's the car. That I'm like, well, it's not going to be a Ridler car. He's like, well, I don't know what I would do if I were you, but
get your poop in a group.
These other guys, they're building multi-million-dollar cars, are consecutively going to be there for the next 3 or 4 years. So I would go home, do whatever you can to take that car apart and get it right. So we did exactly that. We went home and worked 20-hour days.
Wow.
I had some of the greatest guys. My car club's a bunch of retired guys that play cars. So they would come evenings to help me out.
Wow, that's big.
They would do all sorts of stuff.
Yeah, bring it in.
You got me out of sequence here. That car. There we go.
Is this for me?
That's the one.
I'm going to wear this to work. You'll see me get it burnt,
yeah, dirty, covered in Bondo. It looks better covered in Bondo.
So if you want a shirt, if you want to support JF, there it is. There's 2 of your cars on the front, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
The yellow one, as we were talking, was that the Barrett Jackson. That blew my mind. And the red is a Nova that you've obviously done.
Acadian that we did, yeah.
Acadian.
Yeah.
Cool.
A little bit of Canadian heritage there.
Right. Thank you very much.
Yeah.
Just a little plug there. And anytime you want to, if you want to go to JF's, he's doing a YouTube page, him and his wife. They're trying to, get things started. I think they're right on time to get things going because they're here and, we're talking to him and you get to know who he is. Like I said, he's the most decorated body man, custom builder in Canada known to man. He's got 5 things at the Ridler. He's won once. I don't know if anybody's done more from Canada. And if you have, let us know. Right? So, what I'm gonna you're onto you've sold your yellow car.
Yeah.
You're onto your shop now.
Yeah. Now we've decided it's going to be for real, and
you're going to be JF Launier, the custom car builder that's going for the Ridlers.
Launier. Yeah.
So you're going for this. And how old are you?
Oh, I was 30 when we did
That's young.
The Kaiser, wow. And I was 32, 33 by the time we got the wagon done.
I was running from the RP.
Yeah, no, it was a big push, huge push.
You must have been mature at your age.
Yeah, I don't know that I was mature. I just wanted that bad, and
you don't have to be mature to own a nice car.
No, I don't think so. And
you had to be disciplined.
Having Chip Foose sort of take me under his wing.
Okay.
Really, he was. He's a pinnacle of the industry, and the way he sort of went about what he did, and how beautiful the cars were, and sort of still having Boyd Coddington around made it so that I was like,
there was errors.
I just
was
want this. I want it bad.
Oh, we had the Boyd Coddington era, and then the Chip Foose era, and you were in that Chip Foose era because you're actually working with him.
Sure.
Yeah. You got his awards. You won at Grand National Roadster Show. You know these people.
Yeah.
Now you're committed.
Yeah.
You're going.
And we're part of the industry.
Right.
And once you're part of that big wheel, you don't want to get off. So
you keep doing it.
Yeah, we were super fortunate. We had some great clients jump on board. We were able to we took the least modified, which is not really my thing normally, but we took the least modified car to ever win a grade 8 to Detroit. We took an actual, not numbers matching, but a true GT 500 67 Shelby that we couldn't find the original engine for, so we couldn't restore it. And the client was like, I want to make it a show car.
He wants it as nice as he can get it.
I've got multiple other Mustangs. Guy by the name of Gord Phillips. It just became a really close friend, just because he's one of my favorite guys.
Yeah.
And he
wanted it as bad as you did. That's all.
He did. He wanted it as bad as I did. So we flipped this car upside down, welded every seam in it, but didn't. They're original floorboards, but we welded every seam. We hand filed the rocker pinch weld. Hand filed, tack welded it. Hand filed it.
Yes.
Tack welded it. hand filed it till it was 100% straight, and then we hand filed both sides of the pinch weld, and then filled them with primer. It might be the prettiest bottom of a car that I've ever seen.
What gives you that idea?
I don't know. You're looking at it, you're like, it's not right. It's all bumpy. Yeah. And then there's 3 pieces of metal that get welded in here, and one of them sticks out crooked out the bottom, and that's just how they assemble cars.
It does. But every car gets sandblasted, and you leave that so it looks good.
Yeah, how are we going to make this car prettier than the rest of them?
Right.
And the answer is, let's just take one piece at a time and make it as perfect as you can.
Okay.
Those cars happen to hold the seats in place with a big hole in the floor.
Right. So
then we welded pieces of tubing so that we would have a perfect edge along the edge. The tubing went up there, and then all you'd see is this beautiful little bolt at the base of that.
Right.
We chrome plated the transmission.
Okay, right on.
And then the stripes, so it was a Shelby, so we did the Shelby stripes, and then we did them all the way underneath, like all the way, and I mean all the way. Like, so you would have this surface. We went back and made the stripes go to the back side, and then above, there was stripes on top of the transmission. Chrome-plated transmission. There was Shelby stripes running through the engine, intake manifold, oil pan, water pump.
This process is that what he's talking about right
Idiocy,
here?
really.
Well, this process that he's talking about is thinking about what they want to do before they think how much it's going to take.
Yeah.
And that...
Isn't that the truth?
Well,
come up with a wacky idea.
Come up with an idea.
And then once you're committed, you should be committed. They should just take you to the loony bin.
Who come up, but in all honesty, it's something they come up with, obviously. I'm looking at things way different.
Yeah.
Way different. To think of something making something different, to make it better, to make it look cooler. But it doesn't matter how long it takes and what it is. It's got to be done to make it the way we want to get it done.
And Gord was one of those clients that we would come up with a small idea.
Yeah.
And he'd be like, oh yeah, that sounds good. Let's do that.
Okay.
And we would just
He didn't think of it either.
No, definitely not. If you've ever seen one of those Shelby hoods,
yes,
the fiberglass hoods and trunks,
right,
and flipped it upside down, it's just fiberglass roughness.
Yeah.
Well, it was weeks, and this happened to be the one that had the louvers.
Okay.
Right?
So you were finger jamming.
Weeks of taking a piece of, your mixing sticks for paint.
Yeah. Bondo Billy uses those.
Right?
Yes.
Glue a piece of little sandpaper and just sort of squirt it in there up and down 1,000 times till it's flat, and then do it again after primer, and then do it again after paint.
Okay, so this was a grade 8 car, a customer's car?
Yeah, it was a grade 8 car. So the judges did say, JF, you deserve to win. The car has 0 body mods. A car with 0 body mods can't win. We're sorry, but you've taken a stock-bodied car as far as anybody could ever take it. Done.
Yeah, I can see that.
Done. It was like, well, that's an honor. Irregardless, we invented the half wheel with that car.
Half wheel is what?
Half wheel. So
you cut a wheel in half with the tire open?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So
at the show, you put it on the car?
Yeah. So what happens is at car shows, you typically try to show off the suspension or the brakes and all of that stuff by putting it on like a little tripod or some sort of stanchion.
Man, they're geeking out, man.
Right? You're gonna like all of it.
What is geeking? That's wow. Like what can you do to?
So how are we going to display this beautiful suspension and these stripes and all the stuff we've done to this car so that somebody can see it? My problem is I love a profile. We talked about that before. I love the profile of a car. Well, as soon as you stick it up with a couple jack stands, you've totally interrupted the flow and the beauty of a car. It looks like a Jetsons car. It no longer looks like a car.
Yeah, okay.
So I came up with the idea that if you walked up to the back of this thing, you wouldn't know that it didn't have its tire till you walked around to the side, and now still the silhouette of the car is right.
Yeah.
It's just missing the chunk.
Yeah.
But you can just stick your head right in there and see all the cool details.
Was that a good hit?
It was excellent. Yeah.
Awesome.
Yeah, we've done it 3 or 4 times since, and in fact, I saw that Ford ended up doing it about 4 years later at the auto show with like a brand new Ford truck.
It just goes to show you. Everybody,
I'm like, everybody works. I know where that came from.
Everybody works off everybody.
Yeah,
as you're doing shit like that.
For sure.
You know what I mean? Like, for someone to say, whatever, but it's work.
Yeah, we're all just human.
So you did a Mustang and you made the grade 8. So go again. What's the next one?
Oh gosh, when do we go again? We go in with a beautiful Acadian, which is a Canadian car.
Okay.
That you and I would sort of, tip our hats to.
Acadian is a Canadian.
Pontiac. So U.S. guys don't know that, but it's a Pontiac Chevy too. So it's a Pontiac Acadian, but it shares almost everything.
Red car here?
No, it's that car should have gone, but we had 6 months to build it, and we just decided to take it to SEMA and celebrate my buddy's 50th birthday.
SEMA. Yeah. We'll just take it to SEMA.
Yeah. So the white Acadian came to us as a full tube chassis, chromoly chassis, drag race engine sticking out of the hood this far, big fat tire, drag race thing. And the owners of that car had gotten married in the car 30 some odd years prior to that. Super wonderful couple, the Judescos that we love so much, but they show up with this car, and it's a family icon. Like they love this car more than they did the first dog they ever had. Like this is their family piece.
I don't know, where's Fiona at?
and it's a Pro Street thing, that because when they were building it, they thought, well, how do we build it more awesome than the day we got married? Well, we put a giant engine in, we put big tires on it, and go drag racing or something. So in the mix of all that, the car really kind of never got finished. So it was an unfinished Pro Street, something.
So it had this body on it, or you put the body on it?
No, the body was already part of this whole program, because that's the body they got married in.
Okay.
They actually might have conceived their son in that car. So we don't know the whole story, but here we are anyways.
When the Pontiacs are rocking, knocking.
Exactly. So we get into that car, and I'm like, how do I cut some of the heavy Pro Street out of it? It just looks too much like a car that has to spend its whole day at the drag strip. It doesn't look like a car that could go to a car show or be on the streets.
It just had too much roll cage.
Just too much of everything. Too much roll cage, too much engine sticking out. The aluminum wing for the back was 2 feet long, because it had a big spill plate sitting off the back. So I get talking to the son, who might have been conceived in the car, and he and I both agreed that to save a little bit of money, we should put twin turbos on the existing engine. So take the low compression blower motor and then put twin turbos on it. Well, this just sort of snowballs. The dad won't go for it at first, and then before you know it, he's all in. So Danny calls back and says, I just ordered $100,000 fucking killer twin turbo engine that makes 2,500 horsepower. I'm like, whoa, hit the brakes.
Yeah.
Like 1,000 horsepower is a lot.
Yeah.
So 2,500 is going to be crazy. So now we have this package that belongs in like a Cadillac.
That's got more horsepower than all our cars put together.
Oh yeah, it was crazy. So this has got a Siamese, I think they called it, turbos. Anyways, the turbos, one of them is built completely opposite to the other. So turbos typically all turn one direction.
Yep.
So when you run two of them, you end up having the in pipes and the out pipes kind of both on one side or both on the other side. Well, these are mirror turbos. So when you're looking at it from the front, both ins are on the same side, both outs are on the same side. So you have this mirror image that you can really do something decorative and exceptional with. So we fit this, oh gosh, I should remember, but I think it was a 632 cubic inch, tall block, and these turbos, like they must have been 108.
I'm going to ask you another question.
Just these things.
What gives you the confidence to mess with somebody's $100,000 turbo?
I don't know. I don't know the answer to that. We just did. We did. We ground the living piss out of that engine too.
Like, just pick this thing up. Oh man, just put this thing up.
We're just going to sort of prop it
But
here.
it has to be that way, sort of, does it not?
It has to, because they can't prepare all of that for us. They can prepare the engine block, dyno it. They can give us the turbos. From there, we have to make the headers ourselves. We have to make the exhaust ourselves.
When you start doing that, are you taking every precaution not to damage that thing? Like, are you taping that thing all off?
Yeah, we tape it all off so nothing gets in. But I mean, we're going to drop it at some point on the ground and pick it up and repolish it, or for that matter, we'll take that brand new turbo that's got a big branding on it and take it right to the grinder. Just wipe out that. Block it smooth, and then go polish it some more.
Right.
Yeah. So we're not scared of things that are valuable. I was just thinking,
we've
taken some very valuable stuff.
I wouldn't, I've done some cars, and I'm not a bunch of money in them, to be honest with you. But I still wouldn't drive them up the road. I'm not taking the blame for nothing. You want to drive your car, you go ahead. I didn't
I struggle with a bit of that sometimes. I always thought this car might be a problem because it made so much horsepower and they were so excited about going and really beating on it.
Yes.
The beauty of that kind of went away once we turned it into such a beautiful show car. So that one ended up having 2 half wheels for display, chrome rotors that were only good for one day. Just a whole bunch of stuff that made it.
You're talking top of the line when you're talking chrome rotors per day.
Chrome rotors.
That's like a paper plate for me.
Oh, yeah, we're going to take a break at chrome rotors and come back to chrome rotors after we have another beer, because this is going to blow your mind.
From what I understand, he is the only person to fund and build and win the Ridler. So that, from what I understand, and that's quite a record.
Well, the way they do it is they give you 2 trophies.
Okay.
So typically it's the big trophy for the guy who funded it and owns the car.
Okay, you got both of them.
And then they give the little trophy to the builder.
Yeah, and you got both of them?
And we got both of them.
That's
so in the last 50 years, my understanding is
wow.
10 years since, and I don't know if it'll ever be done again. It's a really unique journey. You have to be able to have
you've inspired
just
me.
enough credit somewhere to do it, and then you have to have the willpower to be strong enough to put in 20,000+ hours in a car.
Right.
Yeah.
Amazing.
And I didn't do that by myself. None of these journeys were by myself.
I understand that. And
we have great staff. We have great friends that have been there for us. Like, we literally, when we were doing my car, we would do 5 staff all day. Then the staff would take components, say they were working on a bolt or a fastener or a brake line.
Okay.
And they're like, hey, I fabricated this brake line, give it to the old dudes tonight. And then I would have 4 to 5 old guys, retired people, or guys with jobs that wanted to help, and they would come in the evenings so they didn't disrupt their workflow. And I would buy the pizza, the beer every night, and then you'd have, my math on that was if I have 5 people show up and each of them does 4 hours worth of work, we just made up a half a week of effort. So sometimes the jobs would be super monotonous, but critical to making the car perfect.
So this car that you've won the 2 trophies with, it's a Riviera?
64 Riviera.
Okay, now I'm going to ask you another question.
Yeah.
Are you the only guy that never made Hot Rod magazine cover?
I am the only one with a Ridler
that built a Ridler car? That never been on the cover of that magazine?
For sure. How'd you figure that out?
Well, it should have been there, and it wasn't.
Yeah, and the really...
So you're the only guy that's built
real
the
kick
car,
in the balls,
funded the car, but never been on the Hot Rod magazine cover.
The bigger kick in the balls was they physically did, within the year of that...
Was that a kick in the balls?
No, Street Rodder did an issue specifically on first-gen Rivieras.
Okay.
For that generation of Rivieras. So they had a whole issue dedicated to only those Rivieras.
Yeah.
And the car that just won Ridler was not in it. Can you imagine that kick in the nuts?
Well,
it's wild. The industry does some really interesting things to you sometimes, where they just pigeonhole you, or they purposefully... It's human beings and human beings with feelings, and they have a way of really, really doing some ugly stuff sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's, what can I say? I was just, so I know how you feel. It was a kick in the nuts.
It's interesting.
I just wanted to ask you that question. I just it would like burn my ass.
Yeah.
It would burn my ass that, someone disrespected the amount of work that you put in, no matter if you're Canadian, American, or whether they liked your car, if they didn't like your car, if you're black or white or Chinese, to disrespect something that's the best. Just for me, put a little cherry on the top. It'll be one that'll never be forgotten. And I don't think a lot of people could even understand that concept of that car. They couldn't.
And I honestly think the car is more relevant 10 years later than it was 10 years ago when I finished it. It was really the first car that tried and maybe succeeded. I mean, by my eyes,
explain where your head was when you built the thing.
I wanted a supercar.
And it was a Buick Riviera.
Well, it started as Buick Riviera. I wanted to build a car that could win Detroit and do 200 miles an hour.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you want
to prove the point, because we had been to Detroit enough times by then that a lot of our competitors, their cars either didn't run, or they ran just enough, or they really didn't function as a car. And I've always said, like, if you're building a house for dream homes or whatever, Barbie. Yeah, and then you got the cover house for dream homes. Yeah. Well, do you choose not to live in it? No, you still got to function as a house. So if it's a car, it still has to basically function as a car. So even though you're making an art piece at that level, nobody had really done what I was doing. Like I took the wagon and I went autocrossed it. I took all of my cars.
You performed it also.
Absolutely. So my idea was that this Riviera, once we were off the carpet, that would
could outperform all you.
It's going to do it. It's going to do it. Wow. So it makes
so you didn't want to win. You wanted to outperform also.
I did. I wanted to prove the point that the car ran hard.
And basically you did.
We did. We took the Optimus Streetcar Challenge. We did it.
You did the Optimus
Streetcar Challenge with the Ridler winning car of the year, which was like the Optima guys. They're like, "You said what, JF?" I'm like, "Yeah, wow. If you guys got room for me, we'll bring the car." They're like, "We're going to dedicate a whole section to that." Like literally, so 2014, those new ZL1 Camaros had just come out, and they are hot shit, right? Fast as F.
Yeah.
And so they
not as fast as JF.
Well, they had all the cameras suction cupped to this car, and it was the chase car that would chase you around. And of course, I'm like, let's be real. I wasn't pushing the car to 9/10. I was pushing the car maybe 7.5, 8/10.
Right.
Always leaving enough margin
that you're driving.
If something buggers up, which it did, by the way. Yeah. We literally broke the 2 upper control arm bolts, sheared them right off because they were stainless, and stainless has a really weak shear ratio.
Right.
It's strong in some ways, but it's not in other ways. And of course, it's a show car, so a lot of the suspension was assembled with stainless. Long story short, sheared both of them off, limped it back into the pits after doing a big autocross session. And I'm like, I was just out in the full road racetrack doing 165 miles an hour, outrunning the ZL1 with it. Like, nope.
Oh, wow.
So, yeah, we had a point to prove. That my head guy that did a lot of the engineering and some of the, like a good portion of the heavy fabrication on it. Gary Orston and I sort of had it in our heads, could a car be built that would show at the highest level, but not, it had to walk the walk and talk the talk. Could we do that? And then once we won Detroit, I said to him, I said, do you want to go to Ultimate Streetcar Challenge? And he said, I would gladly go. He says, I'll gladly go and do that with you. And that was really what I needed. I needed to focus on driving the car because I'm sort of manhandling a multi-million-dollar car. I needed to have my crew chief be somebody I trusted infinitely. Well, because him and I had crafted the car together, right? I trusted him infinitely. And I needed somebody like if we have to fix something, I still got to kiss the babies and focus on driving and keep my wits about me, right?
That's one thing I was saying. We were talking about Australia.
Yeah.
JF and his wife may be going to Australia, I'm not sure. But he was asking about the cars over there. And Australia has that thing where you show your car and you perform your car.
Yeah.
When you win.
They're big on those crazy burnouts, aren't they?
Yeah, well, they're like...
Big time.
You come out in the morning time and everybody's got their engine, they call it heckling or something like that.
Cackling?
Cackling, yes. And everybody's just giving her, right? It's like, what for? And they're just giving her. They got an engine sitting there cackling, and this guy's doing it, and this guy does it. But it's quite a car community over there. But they do have the road course plus the best car.
Right.
So you are, basically built for Australia. And
maybe, yeah.
And Detroit didn't even know... what?
No, so what the interesting thing was...
Do you have to explain your story before you get there of your car?
You get a good chance to explain it once you've made the grade 8. You really get a quality effort, probably about an hour of, I think it's seven judges. You get an hour of their undue attention so that they can really understand where you came from. But we did something that year that had never been done. We typically, the efforts before that, a couple of them we had built chrome rotors.
Okay.
So you basically take a car and you only make the front brakes work or the rears work, and then you swap out the rotors to make sure they're chrome. And I got, and you go through this 6 seconds. All it takes is 6 seconds to prove the car's drivable. Forward, backwards, left, right, hit the brakes. So if you're good, you just start it in gear, pick one, right, and just shift it to the other one. So the car's already moving forward. Once it fires, put it in reverse. You should be able to totally qualify a car without even staining the headers.
Okay.
My thing was, I'm going to show you guys we built the car of the century that will drive better than any Ridler car ever. So we unload the car. In Detroit, Cobo Hall is like 4 acres under roof. It's huge.
Okay.
It's acreage.
Never been there. Yep.
Yeah, it's super crazy. You got to go. You're close enough.
We will.
It's just a flight away. So we unload the car at the back of the hall, and the judge's station where you push the car to and just prove that it runs and then continue to push it to the front of the hall where the cars are is kind of in the middle of the place. So we unload at the very back. I fire the car up, drive it through, basically, I don't know how many hundreds of feet it is, but it's a lot for a show car. Park
you're going in trying for,
Park in front of the judge's station. Hey boys, I'm here to get checked out. And they're like, did you leave the keys in it? Can we do donuts? I'm like, keys are in it, let her rip, she's ready. And it was sort of the first time a car has ever been driven to the display. So by the time we left the judge's station to drive to the display, and that was really important for me, there was just like a mob of people around it. Like there was just like a mountain of people following the car to the display because it had never been done that way.
That's cool.
In the 60s, cars won Detroit without having pistons in the engine. So they would chrome plate the blocks. So why would you put a pistons or rods in the engine? You don't need that. It's a chrome plated engine. Never going to fire it. So they would do things like that. So that's where they came up with well, you at least have to prove that it runs and goes backwards, forwards, right?
Right.
Awesome. Don't know where I was going with that.
Well, it does matter for people that watch, and they have to, did Dave Kindig's car run this year?
It did marginally.
Marginally?
It struggled.
It passed?
It passed, yeah.
It passed.
Yeah.
So
and deservingly so. So the thing with Dave's car this year is it set a new bar. The car last year, that's right, last year. It's been a year since.
Yeah. And you were also in that?
We were in there with a modified Cougar that had a fastback roof.
Another one.
Super, super cool. Another roof car.
Yeah.
I love moving the roof line of a car around.
Right.
I think it's what I'm going to leave as a legacy here.
Okay.
For sure.
Moving the roof around.
Yeah.
What time is it there, sweetheart? We're good? What do you mean by good? Keep it going. What else am I going to ask? As you said about Dave's car, did it set a new bar?
It did. Yeah, Dave's car set a new bar that I think will be difficult to beat for a while if somebody really analyzes the car itself. It's a hand-built aluminum body. It has a proprietary engine, so it's a one-off block for that car. The suspension was hung off of the actual engine, which I've never seen before. So the engine became, like a motorcycle, the engine is part of the chassis. Yeah. Well, the engine in that car is part of the chassis, which was mind-blowing. His craftsmanship are second to none.
Okay.
Him and Troy Trepanier by far have the best
craftsmen
on the planet. Yeah.
I got to meet him. He humbled me. He wanted to get a picture with me. That was so cool. He don't know who the hell I am, but he did know who I was. And it was nice to get a picture with him. He won the America's Most Beautiful Roadster
this year. Yeah, he's won everything.
Yes,
including his consecutive efforts at Bonneville, where him and his team just keep setting records.
Okay,
they are a force to be reckoned with.
Where are the brains coming from? Are they coming from techo schools? Are they coming from the backwoods? Are they coming?
A lot of tech school kids in the US. Yeah. We don't have a lot of that in Canada, so it's definitely a struggle to get technicians that are just as passionate as you and I are, right?
Yeah. For me, I find the best person is the guy in his backyard that can fix anything.
Sure.
For me, the guy can fix his lawnmower, can put the brakes on his old man's car. That's the kind of guy I enjoy.
For you, I think your deal is that you actually take on the sheet metal work yourself. You take on the structural work yourself. So getting somebody who's good mechanical behind you is probably a perfect fit.
Basically, yeah. So that's what I need sometimes.
Yeah.
Not going to build no cars for the Ridler, I don't think. Not this year anyways.
Maybe. Says the guy in front of a super cool car.
Well, it's pretty cool. It's more about passion than anything. You know what I'm saying? Jolene said she wanted this car. So I went for it.
This is a heavy-duty styling exercise, though.
Yep.
It's beautiful to see it in person. It is way more car than the lens will actually give you a chance. So once it's done, it has to be shared with the public. It's just such a special piece.
It's metal and Bondo.
They all are. Don't let anybody tell you they're not.
There you go. You gotta like him, man. He comes out and says they all are. Come on.
They all are.
The guy is winning the biggest awards of the year, the car world can give, and they all are. But anyways, that's funny. I want to thank JF for coming. I really appreciate it. He's one of the people that I look towards to do what I'm doing, and the reason being is he is the man that was out there in the magazines. I got to see his cars. I got to see his Barrett Jackson car. I got to see it go over the block. I got to see a few other cars that you've built. And if you want to see any more of his cars and what he is doing,
Teresa and I are on Killer Customs. My wife does an amazing job of editing our videos and doing all the background work. Big shout out to Teresa. Thanks,
hello, Teresa. But
I will say though, can I just butt in for a quick second? One of the things I miss in our industry right now, deeply miss, and I have to celebrate our buddy Terry Denemy with Canadian Hot Rods.
Okay.
I miss the printed media.
Yes.
I love this. I love how we are so quick to give content and people can share our lives with us and they can see how we're doing it. That's like we've just hit a new pinnacle of how we can share our industry and our hobby with friends. But we've also missed the one where we were sitting on the toilet and just flipping through, getting inspired, tacking up one of those pictures on the wall that says,
that inspires you.
One day I want to be one of those guys, right?
Yeah. I got up by our shitter. We got 50 magazines upstairs. That's where I go do my stuff.
Yeah.
It's kind of stinky up there. It goes up top. But anyways, there's a bunch of magazines there that I look at. Same thing.
Yeah.
And this man is not in the Hall of Fame yet in Canada. Get real. Have a good one, everybody. Come back tomorrow and we'll be here.
Thanks for coming, guys.